One-to-One Advocacy by Jenny Lawrence. Clackamas County Resolution Services. We provide conflict resolution services to people and organizations experiencing conflict and those seeking resources so they can resolve their differences peacefully, develop skills for the resolution of future conflicts, and build safe and healthy relationships and communities. My current field placement is at CCRS doing family law mediation. Since February, I have had my own caseload of clients who are separating, and I meet with them individually first, then together for 90-minute sessions. As a mediator, I protect the space and process and guide them through a discussion about custody, parenting time, child support, spousal support, and property division. Some families are experiencing high conflict or even DV, SUD, or child abuse. I have supported families to come to full agreements with ease, and I have also had clients storm out of the room in anger. I have normalized intense rage and vulnerability, shifted perspectives toward hope, and enabled families in crisis to hear each other in a new way. It is hard work, and it is good work. April is currently going through a divorce with her husband, Ryan. They have been separated since October, when he assaulted her. She reported the incident at the time, and he was found guilty. He was ordered to attend a DV class, and a no-contact order was put in place. When I met with April in March, at her individual mediation, she presented as anxious, unclear how mediation works and if it would work for her situation. She was disappointed with Ryan, worried about how they would disentangle their assets after 20 years of marriage, and concerned about how all these changes were impacting their kids. And because of the no contact order, it had been 5 months since they had spoken or seen each other. How do you want to feel? So I asked April, how do you think you will feel sitting here in the same room with Ryan for the joint mediation session? And she said, I'm a little worried since it's been so long. I responded, how do you want to feel? And she said, I want it to be okay. I want us to be able to move past this so that we can be in the same room together, because we're going to have to be for our kids. I said, what is something you can do to make it be okay? And she said, I can think about our kids. I can think about our kids when we start to get heated, because that's something we can always agree on. There are many layers to the desired outcomes of this work. The mediation goal is that clients get from conflict to calm and come to a final agreement. My goal as a mediator is to support the space and process so that the clients can do the work. April's goal as a client is to be in the room with Ryan and remain okay so that they can build a new kind of relationship as co-parents and move through this transition. In my educational role, I am both the teacher and the student. I am the expert in the process, and my client is the expert in their own experience. Our relationship is reciprocal as I guide them with curiosity. With open-ended questions, I was able to hold the space for April to discover her own solutions, strategies, and strengths. In my advocacy role, I know my clients' rights, and I seek deeper understanding of their goals so that I can support them to meet those goals. In trusting that April is the expert of her own experience, I pushed back on her concerns and asked her to think about what solutions she has. In my coaching role, I help my clients to prepare realistically for the next steps, to imagine what will be hard and how to handle that in the moment, asking April to imagine being in the room with Ryan and encouraging her to think about what comes up for her allowed her to really go there and strategize more effectively. In my empowerment role, I hold the space and I take responsibility to summarize and celebrate successes. I have the ability to shift the lens and to encourage progress through strengths-based insights about their process. Through mirroring April, summarizing her goals, recognizing her strengths, respecting her autonomy, and empathizing with her hardships, I am hearing and seeing her in a new way that feels good. By asking her to reflect on that experience, I am further validating her, normalizing her needs, celebrating her strengths. Again, with that conversation, that feels good. So I said to her, so you are a little worried about how you will feel in the room with Ryan. One thing you will try if things get heated is to shift the conversation to the kids, because that's something you can always agree on. Did I get all that? Yes. And I said, how does that feel to have a plan? And she said, that feels good. And I said, what other planning can you do so that you can come into the joint session and feel good about how it will go? And she said, I can bring my water bottle and I can take the rest of the day off work so that I'm not distracted with that. And when we think about all the strengths of the advocacy role, personal as political, I encouraged April to consider this experience of advocating for her needs and how she might further utilize the strength to think about other actions she might take, further supporting her confidence and practice with strategy building, strength recognition, and asserting herself in a challenge. Assertive guidance. By reframing April's statements in an affirming way, I was able to build concrete goals with a different level of accountability and greater sense of a commitment. Compassion. Through empathic listening and reflective, supportive, normalizing responses, I was able to build solidarity with April in a way that enabled her to open up more and be more honest and vulnerable as she described her trauma. Positional power. I will be writing up the document that is their final agreement, detailing their parenting plan, child support, spousal support, custody, property division, and potentially some wording about their relationship and how they hope to get along, and the rules about how they are to get along. It's personal, and I'm a professional, a stranger, all up in their business and having a hand in their future. Self-advocacy. When I noticed that April had found a solution to her concern and asked her how that felt to have a plan, it sparked some clarity in her that having plans would help her as she moved forward. Basic human rights. I discussed safety concerns with April, offering alternatives like timeouts, caucus, or shuttle mediation, reinforcing her basic right to be safe, asking her how I can support her to meet those needs. Solutions focused. Validating April's small adjustments as being intentional interventions further motivated her to believe in the outcome she desired. Strengths-based. I held the space and witnessed April discovering her own solutions-focused, strengths-based self-advocacy, and in that experience, the impact is transcending as it ripples out into more experiences as her confidence in her own ability has shifted. Empowerment. Coming up with your own solutions is an empowering experience, and I felt that April felt both relieved from the relationship building from our individual session, but also empowered and prepared in a way she hadn't felt before. Collaboration. Through mindful but casual conversation, I was able to join with April on an equitable level to problem solve in a way that felt meaningful and engaging for her. Skill deepening goal. I think that when I notice such personal growth in my clients, such as April, as they move forward in this career, I might have the mindfulness to encourage upstream advocacy from the client. We know that helping others has therapeutic impacts on those in distress situations, and that there is immediate trust building factors, ally support within dyads with similar histories. Part of my work should be to encourage upstream advocacy from clients who feel empowered by the social service support system, as that work will have an impact beyond what we can see firsthand, greatly influencing the work we do and the world that we live in.